Right, so today I'm gonna be reacting to some fucking scary stories, some banger of stories, some fucking scary ass fucking stories. See if it scares the living daylights out of me, or maybe it doesn't, and maybe I'm just a tough guy. Maybe I can just go through it like tough and all that, and all that, and all that. Okay, let's play the stories. So honestly, I don't think any of this is gonna do anything, but oh Jesus, the volume, Jesus, the volume, Jesus, the volume, Jesus, the volume, Jesus. Oh my God, the volume, dude. It's already scaring me.
The first place I lived in after moving out of my parents' house was this tiny, dingy apartment on the outskirts of town. It wasn't the nicest place, but it was affordable, and it was mine. Because the rent was so cheap, there were quite a few...
Oh yeah, disclaimer. The reason I got my t-shirt off, you may go, why the fuck is this fucker got his t-shirt off? Why has he got his t-shirt off? Why does he think he's cool and all that? Honestly, I'm sweating. Feels like the Sahara Desert. Try not to swear, because if I upload this on YouTube, then it's really not gonna end well if I swear. But it feels like the Sahara Desert. So honestly, I'm just like wearing my t-shirt because otherwise, I'm not wearing my t-shirt. Crap. But I'm not wearing my t-shirt because fucking hell. It honestly feels like the desert in this room right now. With my PC on full blast. I feel like I'm cooking. But that's just a disclaimer, because you're like, why is this guy got his t-shirt off? And why does he think he's cool? It's not because I think I'm cool. It's more like it's more because I'm sweating. I don't know what I can say, because I'm probably gonna upload this video on YouTube, so I can't say much.
Students from the nearby community college living there. Most of us were friendly with each other, and we'd hang out sometimes. But there was one guy who just killed the vibe whenever he was around.
Okay.
I don't think any of us knew his name or even really managed
just because
to
he
have a
looks weird doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
We all mentioned seeing him linger in the laundry room, despite him wearing the same set of clothes every single day.
Well, maybe he just like washed his clothes and not wearing them.
Creep of the neighborhood.
Okay.
This is just what you get for trying to save on rent. After all, he wasn't the only downside to that particular apartment complex. The walls were pretty much paper thin. I could usually hear just about everything go on in my neighboring apartments. That being said, I still didn't mind. My next-door neighbor was this really attractive girl from the community college. Of course, I always hoped that being so close to her meant that we'd eventually run into each other and maybe hit it off, but I didn't actually see much of her. Unfortunately, it was almost like she was trying to avoid being seen, as she would run out of her door and slam it in the middle of the night all the time. But since the walls were so thin, I could hear most of what she was like without meeting her. She was on her phone a lot, talking really loud to someone on the other side. Every once in a while, she'd have a friend over for the night, and I'd lose some sleep.
Why are you listening?
Otherwise, she seemed like a nice
person. Just like get a number,
lad. There was one night, though, where things seemed off. It was a Sunday night, and I'd fallen asleep quite heavily after hanging out with my friends for a few hours. I woke up in the dead of night to the sounds of shouting and screaming coming through the wall from inside her apartment.
No.
You're ugly.
Why, that doesn't sound like a girl, that lad. She might have
It sounded like a heated argument, which
never
was
mind.
Weird. I'd never heard my neighbor fight before.
She might have something
I could tell someone else
that
was
doesn't
in the
sound like a
apartment.
bird, that mate.
They were talking back.
But
come on, please.
Maybe she's from Thailand. I don't know.
I shrugged it off and rolled over in my bed, thinking he was some lackluster playboy getting burnt and butted out.
Okay.
It was none of my business, and I didn't have the energy to do anything about it, so I went back to sleep. But the next morning, I woke up worried. For some reason, I had a sinking feeling about my neighbor. I stepped outside.
Well, it's gonna be too late now, isn't it, mate? You can't do anything about that.
There was no answer. I knocked a few more times, but still, nothing on the other side.
Okay. I'm invested now. Like,
I sighed in frustration
Go on now.
and stepped back. We were on the second floor breezeway, so I leaned up against the railing and looked around the parking lot for her car. The parking spots were assigned in the same order as the apartments, so her car would be right next to mine. Her car is here. I thought I heard the door open, but
Yo,
when I turned back, it wasn't her who answered. The
Yo,
door to the other
is this
apartment
Smackhead?
next to hers was ajar, and the eyes of the neighborhood creep were staring at me.
is this
Can I
Smackhead?
help you?
Can I help
What's
you?
the deal with all the knocking?
Yeah,
I had no idea he even lived in that unit
you
until
stupid
then.
little punk.
I never saw him enter or exit once in the months I'd been there.
What's your
Slowly,
problem, dude?
I walked up to his doorway, but he continued to hide behind his door. Hey, have you seen your neighbor? Who? The girl, man. You know who I'm talking about.
You know who I'm talking
Oh.
about.
The girl.
Yeah.
Her name was Lily. He scowled at me like I offended him, but I was confused. How did he know her name and I didn't? Oh, wait, man. What do you mean her name was Lily? I don't know. You don't know?
Look at Mr. Detective over
Whatever.
here.
Look, I'm worried about her. I heard some crazy stuff from her place last night, and she's not answering
Okay.
her door. Have you seen her recently? I don't know. You don't know if you've seen her recently? Dude, I know your walls are just as thin as mine. I know you heard something weird last night, too. Come on, you heard it, didn't you?
Honestly, I'm being a detective here. I feel like this guy knows more than he's letting on. And actually, okay guys, I know you might have not picked up on this, so like, I'm just gonna point it out. I feel like, you know, the like smackhead looking guy, I feel like he knows more than he's letting on. You see that guy there? He's basically using some detective skills to decipher that. But that's just what I'm inferring. Honestly, get a load of me. Get a load of me. Nah, but being serious, he looks like a smackhead, I can't even lie. Proper smackhead. Yes, lad. I don't know what that was, but we're gonna continue.
All of a sudden, I realized just how crazy tense the creep had become. He still held the door half closed with white knuckles, sweat dripping down his forehead. He was no longer actually saying anything.
How do you know he's not
But
sweating?
he never broke eye
He's probably
contact with me
warm.
for a moment.
The
Hey,
fuck?
I don't want to freak you out. I'm sorry. Why don't we just sit down inside and talk about this? It's early. No! The creep slammed the door shut with surprising strength, and right on my finger.
Oh, no! Shit, shit.
Oh, that bastard!
No, don't
I
react like
reeled
that,
back and reluctantly
Dude.
looked at my hand.
dude.
Yeah, we'll say that finger was definitely
Oh my
broken.
god.
One
my
more
God.
thing about cheap rent. You get cheap locks. In the rush of shock and
Fuck.
anger,
I mean,
the sight of my gnarly
fudge.
finger
I don't know how
broke
much
me.
I can say.
I kicked the creep's door as hard
Yo,
as I could.
Bro, don't
channeling
vandalize
pain
it. Don't
into
vandalize.
I
No,
really
no.
didn't expect it
No,
to
no.
happen.
No.
But the creep's door
No.
flew open with a burst of splinters and a wimpy scream from the creep himself. But that didn't matter when I caught a glimpse through his doorway and into his living room. I saw just where my good neighbor had gone. She was chopped up into several pieces, arranged on the floor as part of some ritual involving drawings in her blood, and a lot of her dirty laundry, which I assume he stole. Dozens of bloody bras were strung around his room,
Yo.
along with several clumps of Lily's ginger hair. Some pieces with scalps still attached to it. The sight was unbearable. I'd seen enough for a morning.
What the
I
fuck?
didn't want to fight a guy who chops up bodies, or be his neighbor, for that matter.
What the
It was
fuck
a
am I
terrible
watching?
tragedy what happened
What am
to
I
that
actually
girl.
watching?
And I feel stupid and guilty to this day,
Nah.
knowing that I might have been able to do something about it, but didn't even try. I didn't stay for long. Right after I got off the phone with the police,
What?
I called my landlord and broke my lease. I
What?
couldn't believe I was able to sleep
What?
with the
Who
murder
comes
of
up
my
with this?
neighbor.
Oh my.
All I can say is, this is the last time I will ever
What
rent
the
out a cheap
fuck was
room,
that?
because you truly get what you pay
He's
for.
a disgusting.
We just don't know where she is.
What about the parking lot area? I think that's
Nah.
the lobby area.
No. It's real. It's real.
Who in that complex do I
What?
talk to? I don't know.
I'm shitting my. Nah, I might actually be shitting myself. What the hell? What am I watching?
Why is there blood in your bathroom? Yes, you do know. Why, Stephen? Who did it?
I don't know.
Lad.
Whoa.
Lad.
I just built a butterfly
No.
on base 24. Guys, Nana just built an app.
No.
Impossible.
No.
Ignorant kid.
What the
Interesting.
fuck? Bro. I'm sorry. Oh, of course I clicked on the scariest fucking one as well. 3 True Neighbor Horror Stories. Lad, I'm supposed to sleep tonight. What? Nah. Why did I have to film this at night time? What the hell? What have I just watched? What the Oh my days. Oh my days. Oh my actual lord, lad. What the fuck? It just has to be true as well. Who comes up with this? Well, my fucking arse, it's fucking true, innit? And I honestly, nah. That's bad, that. I've still got 2 more, honestly, bro. Oh no. Right, let's just get the other 2 done. What the actual hell, dude? Oh
This
my
is a deadly
fuck.
tale that would leave one shook to their very core. What makes things worse was how I had to experience it and live to tell about it. The depictions of what transpired are very disturbing, and to what some would refer to as inhumane. I still don't understand why things happened the way they did. All I know is that I am truly scarred for the rest of my life. It all started when I was in my late 20s. I was currently living with my parents and had saved up a considerable amount financially. Of course, being in my late 20s, I desperately wanted to move out, so I began looking for some real estate agents to help search for an affordable house. After a month or 2 of heavy searching, I found a local agent who had a decent amount of experience. I remember he was showcasing a house for sale that was about an hour away from my parents' place. My agent ended up scheduling an open house appointment so that I could take a house tour to see if I was
If
interested.
this is anything like the
When
other
the
one,
day
this isn't
finally
gonna be good.
arrived,
This
my
is not
agent and
gonna
my
be
dad
good.
and I drove to the destination on a Sunday
Bro.
afternoon. On our way there, I recall seeing dozens of farms, farm animals, and farmers. This part of town was obviously where the countryside was, so it was quite the drastic change compared to the city life I was used to. When we arrived there, I remember seeing a decent-sized home with a for sale sign on the lawn. At first glance, the house looked pretty decent. I could honestly tell that whoever lived in that house knew how to keep their home pretty well
Okay.
kept. As we made our way onto the front porch, we got greeted by a middle-aged couple. The man introduces himself and his wife
Oh,
as
this is
Joe
gonna
and
be
Sally.
fucked up.
My agent introduces my dad and I respectively as we all began making our way inside the house.
The
I
fact that
recall
these
the
are
house
true
not
as well
being
is
too
actually
big,
putting
but
me off.
relatively decent
Actually
size.
putting me off, lad.
It consisted of 2 floors with 2 bedrooms and
Oh
1
my
washroom.
days.
To be honest,
I'm-
I was already sold on the place. The house met all my needs and
Okay.
seemed to be in pretty pristine condition. I expressed my intentions.
Right, let me just do. Right, I'm back. So, basically, what happened there was. I need to get a drink, number 1. And number 2. Oh, no, my coaster. Number 2. Yeah, I'm back. And where the fuck did my coaster go? Okay. I'll just put my cup there for now. But, and number 2. Oh, sorry. That was a long I suppose, but number 2. The fact that these were based on a true story has really set me back. Because I thought, yeah, I'm gonna make a nice YouTube video on reacting normally. Without it being just normal stories, maybe a little scary, maybe a little fantasy. But then you throw me into the fact that they're true, it really, really put me off them. So I'm gonna react to them either way, but that's really put me off. It's really threw me off. And to be fair, yeah. What time is it now I'm filming this? It is 12:22 at night. So it's the midnight hour. No, but honestly, let's just get into it.
Visibly see how excited the couple got.
Just turn down the volume because I'm not having it that loud. About 50. There we go.
I assume they were excited to move
Just
out
a
and
bit
wanted
too
to get
loud.
rid of the burden of having
Get
the
about
house on
30
sale.
now.
We then proceeded to
Maybe
make our
like
way out of the
20,
house,
yeah.
and from the corner of my
Right,
eye,
that's good.
I saw the couple looking at the ceiling with their hands clasped together, chanting a prayer. I found it a bit alarming, but shrugged the notion off, assuming they were just really religious.
Honestly, considering this is
After
based on a true story,
consulting
this
with
is
my
annoying
agent
me.
and parents, I concluded with the decision of proceeding with the purchase. The house was being sold at a surprisingly low price, which obviously fit within my budget. I ended up signing all the
I found my
paperwork and
ghost.
put a
There
down
it is.
payment on the house. During my first day of moving in, my dad and older cousin helped me move some furniture into my new home.
Okay.
I recall seeing my new neighbor standing outside his front porch. He looked like an older gentleman that was roughly within his late 40s. We both made eye
This is
contact,
not
and I
as bad.
saw him
It's not as
politely
bad as the
waving at
first
me.
one.
I then waved back at him and said, "Hey, you must be my new neighbor." "Indeed. My name is Sebastian, but you can call me Bash for short." "Okay, nice to meet you, Bash. I'm Jack. Do you require any help moving your belongings in?" "No, it's fine, I think." "Nonsense. Let me give you a hand." Sebastian then inserts himself within my parameters and casually introduces himself to my dad and cousin.
Oh,
Throughout the
yes,
rest of the day,
Sebastian,
we
look.
successfully moved
Go
our
on.
belongings
Go
within
on,
the
G.
household and share a few laughs with Sebastian. Despite the initial odd
The laughing sound
introduction,
effects put
he
me off
turned out to
already.
be a pretty laid-back kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
We all even shared a beer or two, as the night was pretty swell to say the least. At around 11 p.m., my dad and cousin finally left the house, leaving Sebastian and I alone. I noticed Sebastian staring at a painting of Mona Lisa in my living room. The painting was a gift from the previous owners, so seeing him stare at it so intently was quite the scene to see. That's when I asked, "Hey, big fan of paintings, are you?" "Yes, Mona Lisa is one beautiful woman, isn't she?" Yeah. I'm the one who painted this." "Oh, really now?" "Yes. I actually gave it to the owners before you came here as a welcome to the neighborhood gift. I suppose they passed the gift to you now, huh?"
Oh, yes, Sebastian.
"Yeah,
lad.
they did. Well, if you painted this, then you are very talented, sir. May I tell you something, Jack?" Sure, man. I used to live in this house for decades, long before the previous owners did." I found Sebastian's statement a bit strange, seeing as he lived next door, so I said, "So, why did you move from this house to next door?"
Why
"Well,
is it going
my daughter
actually?
ran away from home not too long ago.
Oh no,
However,
this is fucked
I've
up,
always
this.
wanted a bigger living space. I figured if I stayed in the area, she might come back home one day. That's why I moved next door. It also has 2 extra rooms in this house, so yeah." "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, sir. I hope she shows back one day." "And I also moved out because the house might be haunted." "What?"
This guy,
"I'm
bro.
just kidding, Jack. Anyway, I'll see you around." "Okay, see you later, Bash." As Sebastian heads out the front door, I couldn't help but feel a sense of paranoia from the whole haunted remark, and why the hell he would joke about such a sensitive topic regarding his daughter. Even though he said he was joking, I couldn't tell if he was bluffing or just trying to cover up the fact that the place was actually haunted.
Do you know what I think
Nonetheless,
Sebastian
I knew that
over
when
has
we
done?
inevitably
Is
crossed
he's
paths
killed his
again,
daughter.
I would double down and
It's
address
based
the
on it's
bizarre
probably a true
remark.
story. But he
After
killed his
about a
daughter.
week in the new house,
And
I
then
can honestly say that
he's doing
living
that
there
shit.
was swell, except my paranoia grew stronger as the days went by. I
Is he
couldn't
gonna
help but
discover his
stutter
daughter's
every time I
body or
heard
some
the
shit?
floor creak or the wind howling from outside my window, as I attributed it to Sebastian's haunted remark. The employees at my workplace even noticed how drowsy I was every time I showed up to work. I had lost a considerable amount of sleep every day. I couldn't help but feel a little frustrated considering I hadn't seen Sebastian since the day I moved in. It was almost as if he had isolated himself in his house or had completely relocated somewhere else. It was hard to track his whereabouts as I didn't know if his vehicle was in his garage or not. This is when the story gets extremely disturbing. There was one night when I remember tossing and turning in my bed from the nonstop creaks and sounds coming from my house. I decided to get up from my bed and cautiously walk towards my bedroom door. I could hear subtle sounds coming from downstairs. It didn't sound like the typical creaking sounds I usually heard, just a subtle male voice mumbling some kind of gibberish. I made sure to tiptoe my way towards the top of the staircase. As I began making my way towards the bottom of the stairs, I attempted to not make any sounds with each gradual step I took. The mumbling sound began to intensify. Someone was definitely down there. I eventually made it halfway through the staircase and saw
Fucking
Sebastian
dickhead.
standing in my living room facing the Mona Lisa
Oh
painting.
my days, not this guy,
Amazon
bro.
Prime Day
Thank you,
is
YouTube.
here.
Why does it have to be real, man?
That's just the way you make me feel.
And how are these
Get that
real?
big
How has
deal
this
freelance
actually happened to someone?
savings
This is
on
fucking
electronics,
weird,
home,
man.
kitchen and more. Exclusively for Prime members. Shop now.
Hi there! Would you like to receive a gift? I'm a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
Oh, I
Saints,
don't care.
and this is the
Don't
Book of
care.
Mormon.
Dude,
Specifically talks
I
about
don't
Jesus
care.
Christ.
Stop it, YouTube.
My first instinct was to yell,
I need
"Get the hell
Jesus
out
with
of
this
here,
shit.
I'm calling the cops," but I didn't want to potentially compromise my life, so I remained crouched down with my hand over my mouth.
What's bro doing?
I couldn't help but feel emotions of anger and disgust as I asked myself,
Bro,
why
you're not
the hell
taking
is
it.
this guy in my
You're not
house in the
taking
middle of
down
the night?
Sebastian, bro.
How the hell did he get inside? Was he the one causing the creaking sounds this whole time? Panic began rushing through my veins.
Bro,
when
you're
I
not
could make out
1v1 in
some of the words he
Sebastian.
was saying.
You're just not
You're
doing
in
it,
a
are
better
you?
place now, baby girl. Daddy still loves you, okay? You were the best girl a father could ever ask for. I loved every single moment we shared. I hope you can forgive me for what I did. Just know, Daddy did what he had to do, so he wouldn't go to jail. See you in the next life, baby girl.
Right, I'm back.
Casually walks away as I hear him exit through the back door and lock it upon his exit. I knew he must have had a spare key to the house. I made sure to keep the lights off as I didn't want to give Sebastian any indication that I had awoken. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911. The operator then said,
911, what's your emergency?
"Someone just broke into my house. I think it's my neighbor."
Okay, sir, please remain on the line. We're sending a unit your way.
"Well, hurry up, he might come back."
Sir, can you please confirm your address?
Go on.
That's when I placed my
Get
phone
it.
on the floor and approached one of my closets that held some outdoor
Sir,
equipment.
are you still there?
I grabbed an axe and a hard hat
What are
with
you
a
doing,
flashlight
lad?
attached to
You're
it and
not
began
you're not
walking
gonna get
towards the
our
Mona
kid,
Lisa portrait.
Sebastian.
I put the hard hat on and turned on the flashlight attached to it. Now, I'm not sure what possessed me to do this, but the portrait fueled my anxiety to the point where I completely yanked it off the wall and tossed it into the corner. My speculations were accurate. There behind the painting lied a patched up component to the wall. I could tell there must have been a hole previous to the patch, considering the color of it was different compared to the rest of the interior. That's when I raised my axe and began hacking at the wall like a maniac. At this point, all I could see was red. I completely obliterated the wall with every bad intention I had built up that night. The more destruction I caused, the more shocking secrets began unveiling themselves. There behind the wall, like the rotting corpse of a young girl. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was living with a dead corpse in my wall the whole time. Sirens from police cars began roaming the streets. Blue and red headlights flashed through my window and into my house. I rushed to my front door and began waving my arms profusely. After disclosing the details of the newly discovered corpse and the appearance of my neighbor in my house, the police began knocking repeatedly at his door as they couldn't barge in without a search warrant. About several minutes later, a loud bang could be heard within his house. It was later found out that Sebastian had pulled the gun on himself and completely blew his brains out. The corpse that was discovered in my house was indeed his daughter. Before I or any of the previous tenants had moved in, Sebastian had claimed that his daughter was a runaway. But the truth was, Sebastian had abused his daughter for years and eventually killed her. He hid her deceased body in the wall and patched it up before finally putting the house up for sale. Sebastian would use a famous portrait of Mona Lisa as a cover-up gift for new tenants. Some speculate that he moved next door because he wanted to further abuse the spirit of his daughter. I believe it was because the spirit of his daughter tormented him every night, the same way she did to me.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Don't do that shit. Don't do that shit.
Celebrate being human, Etsy.
Lad. I'm not even in the mood anymore.
Over 10 years ago,
This isn't even nice.
my
This,
parents and I
these are
moved
horror.
into a
This is
duplex.
horrible.
It wasn't
These are
ideal
horrible
for a
stories.
family, but it was what we could
These are
afford after the
horrible,
housing crisis.
horrible fucking
Although I was
stories.
too young to understand that at the time. Most of our neighbors were friendly. The weekend
I'm
after
never
we moved
reacting
in,
to
several
this
of
type
them
of.
came over
I
for a
don't
night
know.
of housewarming
Depends
to
on this
welcome
video
the new
does.
residents to the neighborhood
But
and that sort
that's
of thing.
horrible.
It was getting late by the time they all arrived. My parents told me I was up too
From
far
Germany,
past
just
my
like shitting
bedtime
myself
and
now.
sent me to my room for
What
the
the
night.
hell?
That bedroom shared a wall with the living room in which my parents and all the guests were talking. Since I wasn't given much of a choice, I decided to listen in on what the adults were saying. I could hear most of it, but I didn't understand very much. Though, there was one thing I did catch. They talked a lot about our next-door neighbor and the house connected to ours. He used to be a nice guy, but ever since his wife divorced him, he's gone down the deep end. He keeps to himself these days, but I keep an eye out for him. I'll try, but I haven't seen him since we moved in. What's he got behind those hedges, anyway? He gardens. It's all he cares about anymore. He and his wife used to plant all sorts of stuff. She's not around anymore, but I guess he keeps the tradition going. For some reason, the mention of our next-door neighbor gave me the chills. We'd been there for a few days, but I hadn't seen him once. Even to a kid, it was unsettling. I decided to stop eavesdropping and go to sleep. That would be one of the last times I ever got a good night's rest.
Why?
A few nights later, I was running up and down the stairs when I noticed that we had a window halfway up the stairwell that looked out onto the backyard. I stopped to examine our neighbor's side of the backyard, which he had put up a fence to keep separated from our
What?
half. He even planted a 10-foot hedge behind the fence.
So
for
we don't
added
even know what this
scenery,
Donnie looks
but I
like.
could see it all from the stairs. His half of the yard was overgrown with rows of thriving bushes and
I
flowers.
swear if it
with a
pops up with these like
greenhouse in the
figures
far
at the
corner.
end, I'm
I
not
couldn't see
doing it.
through the glass,
I'm not doing it.
though.
I'm not watching a video
The
like that.
inside
It's not
was
nice.
thick with vines. As I was watching, I finally
Oh
saw the
my
neighbor
fucking
appear from
days.
within the greenhouse.
He looks like
He
one of
was
those
filthy and
hillbillies.
fidgeted incessantly. He looked around as if
The
to see if
fucking
anyone
funny
was
teeth.
spying on him, then limped
He looks like
hurriedly
a
into his house.
hillbilly.
I knew he was up to
He
something
looks like
fishy.
fucking a tall
My
version of Chucky.
curiosity had been building since we moved in, and it got the best of me in that moment.
What?
I snuck past
Just
my
don't.
parents and
It's
went
not
out
funny.
to the backyard.
What are you doing?
It was a full moon. While
Why?
I knew he was still inside, I climbed over the fence and dropped in behind the hedge. I immediately regretted my boneheaded decision, as I was now stuck between the splinters of the fence and the thorns
Yeah,
of the
because you're.
thickest hedge I'd ever seen. But I didn't have time
This
to climb
kid.
back up. The man busted open the back door and barreled outside. I stood motionless and spied him from the shadows as he came back to the greenhouse. This time, he was completely cleaned and dressed in a three-piece suit. He stood before the greenhouse door and straightened his tie, as if he was trying to calm his nerves. I miss you, Martha, but you've made your decision. I will keep our memory alive in the sanctuary of life and greenery. Life that you will nourish and support with your own flesh. The children we planted together are so grateful that you've come back to stay with us. Suddenly, he yanked open the door and went to the greenhouse. He barricaded himself inside for several minutes. And the whole time he was screaming softly and giggling with excitement like a little kid at a sleepover. But in between his clown sounds, I heard sawing and jangling chains.
Nah. I'm just not watching this, am I?
After a while,
I've just not
he
watched these
stumbled
types
out,
of videos.
panting and filthy again. Under the light of the full moon, I could see that he was not caked with dirt, but with blood. In terror, I
This guy,
watched
bro.
him slink back into his house to wash up once
Just
more.
slipped it back.
I was
I just slipped
mortified,
it back.
but I had to see what he was doing in there, because he was definitely not
No,
guarded.
you don't.
I
You're a
mustered
kid.
up the courage to
You
crawl through
don't.
the
You
brambles
just
of
don't.
the
You
hedge
don't even
and
climb
sneak
over.
up to
Oh
the
my.
greenhouse. Tripped the latch, pulled back the door.
I need a minute. I need a minute. Why? What the fuck? What am I watching? I can't. I usually watch horror stories, and I've not watched something like this. It's either I just haven't watched horror stories for a long period of time, and I'm not used to this anymore, or these are just really, really bad stories. These are like bad ones. Like honestly, by the time I post this video, if it does alright, and so people actually see it, and it doesn't get like one view, maybe just like recommend me some video. I mean, like some horror videos to react to, and I'll react to them. But like I'm reacting to this one, I don't like it. This is bad. It can't just be me who thinks this. These are not like your normal horror stories. These are just not. They're not though. And hopefully in the next video I won't have my t-shirt off. But I'm thinking about doing gaming videos because maybe this reaction crap's not for me. But because these videos are bad. But like I'm saying, got any scary videos you want to react to? Because I know no one in All Create's doing this at the moment. So I'm gonna do it. And honestly, I'm gonna regret doing it because these, no, I don't even like this one.
Peeked in. An old woman was strung up by the hands and feet. Her back was cut open, exposing her lungs and spine. Her ribs severed and flayed out like wings. That image, I see it every time I blink, but I couldn't look away. As I stared, I saw something even worse. Her lungs, they were still breathing.
No, 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 no. This is real. This is a real guy.
Rising and falling before my eyes. I ran away and jumped the fence like an Olympian. At that point, I gave up on being a junior investigator and handed it off to my parents and the police. But no matter what I try to do, even after all these years later, I can't
I'm not even
unsee
looking
what I
at the
saw.
screen anymore. Right, lad, why are you laughing, bro? This is not funny. Right. Shout out to Horror Shorts Party. Honestly, these are screwed up videos. These are like bad these, you know. Like, honestly, I think I've watched these. I used to watch this channel. This is where I used to like get my horror story and like things from. But the last time I remember, you know what? You're getting it like. Yeah. No. When was these made? 4 years ago. Jesus Christ. Listen, this is extremely good, you know. Shout out to Horror Shorts Party. Banger of a video. Like, it's really shit me up, this one. I'm not even lying. But I might react to like the next video. But this is a short video anyway. It's my first video, as you know. And as you know by the way I'm reacting and stuff like that, I'm not an experienced person. But I'm just there to have fun and honestly give my viewers what they wanna see. I don't know. And yeah, I'm using OBS Studio to record my videos. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and on that note, I'm going to get some stuff done. I'm going to be up early for the gym tomorrow, and I'm going to go bed after that. But thank you guys for watching my video if you actually do. And honestly, no hate, please. Honestly, I know my video's bad because I'm literally my first video. Cut me some slack, dude. Cut me some slack. But yeah. I shit myself. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna go, yeah, you know that video. You know these horror stories. Oh crap. That's just my girlfriend. But I'll reply to that in a minute. Yeah, I'm not gonna go, oh crap. These like these horror stories. They were nothing. They didn't even shit me up because that was fucking solid. Especially that second one. Why did he have to pop that up at the screen? No. It's just not it, is it? But on that note, thank you for watching. And yeah, comment which ones you want to see. And on that note, I'm gonna just end. But you'll get more. I'm gonna be consistent. What the fuck's on my hand? Yeah, you'll get more videos.